I grew up in Chicago, living with my family in a small house. My educational journey was always supported by my grandparents, and when they passed away, I inherited $200,000 that they had saved up to support my education. But I was betrayed, facing injustice in my family and being treated unfairly. My name is Natalie, I'm 26 years old, and since I was a child, I've always dreamed of pursuing an MBA to advance in my career. This money was managed by my parents, and I always believed they would use it for the right purpose when I needed it. However, when I began preparing my MBA applications, I discovered that my parents had used the money for something else, helping my sister Ruby buy a new house. This shocked me, as I had never been informed or consulted about this decision. When I started preparing my MBA applications, everything seemed ready. I just needed to check the account balance to pay the school application fees. But when I asked about the money my grandparents had left for me, the answer from my parents was not what I expected. I clearly remember walking into the living room and asking my mom, my hands trembling, my heart pounding. "Mom, Dad, where's the money my grandparents left for me?" I needed to apply for my MBA. I tried to stay calm, but I felt tense. My mom sighed, not even looking away from the TV. "You're still in school, there's nothing to worry about. You can just take out loans like everyone else," she replied, indifferent, as if it was a minor issue I didn't need to worry about. But I didn't see it that way. I couldn't understand. How could they speak so easily when this was the money my grandparents had saved their whole lives for, so I could have the opportunity to study, so I could change my life? "I don't understand, Mom," I said, my voice trembling, my eyes welling up. "This is the money my grandparents saved for me, to help me go to school. It's not yours, and it's not Dad's." I paused. My parents didn't seem to feel there was anything wrong. My mom gave me an angry glance, while my dad said nothing, continuing to read the newspaper. "Ruby needs help to buy a house," my mom said, as though explaining something obvious. "She doesn't have a stable job like you. She needs our help with this." I couldn't understand. Ruby, my sister, had never faced real financial struggles. She had dropped out of several jobs and didn't care about what I had worked so hard for. But my parents were willing to help her buy a house, while I, the one who had always given my best, was left out. The coldness of my parents made me feel betrayed. Not only was my dream of further education being denied, but I was also treated as though I wasn't worthy of support from my own family. Ruby was spoiled and prioritized, while I had to fight for every small opportunity in my life. This feeling became unbearable, and I started to realize that this injustice wouldn't stop unless I did something about it. When the truth came to light, I was speechless. A strong emotional shock hit me, realizing that the very family I trusted, who I thought would always protect me, was treating me like this. I was betrayed so intensely that I couldn't suppress my anger and disappointment. I felt like all the trust one had built in my family over the years was just an illusion. When I saw my mom still nonchalant, with no sense of guilt, it made me even more upset. Does Ruby really need that house more than I need the chance to study? "Mom, Dad, you can't do this to me." I couldn't take it anymore, my words poured out uncontrollably. The pain inside me made it impossible to control my emotions. My mom just shook her head, dismissing everything like it was no big deal. "You don't understand, Natalie. Ruby needs help too. And she's not like you. She doesn't have a stable job like you, she needs our help." Her words were like a slap in the face. She never needed help, she had everything that I had to fight for. Meanwhile, with all my efforts and academic achievements, I was considered unworthy of any help from my family. I felt like I was falling apart. A strong determination arose within me. If my family wouldn't protect me, I would have to protect myself. I couldn't let them treat me as if I had no value. I needed to take back what I truly deserved, and I would do whatever it took to get justice for myself. Unable to accept the injustice, I decided not to stay silent. Everything had crossed my limits. I had to do something. I couldn't allow myself to be crushed like this. I started seeking help from outside. After a few calls and consultations, I reached out to a lawyer who specialized in financial disputes and inheritance cases. I knew this was the necessary step to reclaim what was mine. I also understood that only legal statements and solid evidence would help me win. Therefore, I hired an accountant with experience in investigating complex financial transactions. Along with my legal team, we started searching for all the information related to the $200,000 my grandparents had left for me. Every transaction of my parents, from one account to another, had to be thoroughly checked. A week went by in tension, and when the financial reports started coming in, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The evidence was irrefutable. Not only had my parents taken the money I trusted them with, but they had secretly transferred all of it into Ruby's account without informing me. They had been doing this for months, and I had no idea. When everything became clear, I felt suffocated. My entire family, the ones I trusted the most, had done this to me. The anger I felt was indescribable. I decided that I wouldn't stop until justice was served. This betrayal couldn't be overlooked, and I wouldn't let them escape the consequences of what they had done. When the truth was revealed, I decided to take my parents to court, not just to reclaim what was mine, but also to make them face the wrongdoing they had committed. The clear financial evidence, the transferred funds, and the fraudulence they had carried out left my parents no choice but to confront the truth. When I informed my mom about my decision, her expression changed. I had never seen her so flustered in my life. My mom, the one I always thought would protect me, now appeared confused and scared. "Natalie, you can't do this. Don't bring everything to light, we're family," my mom said, her voice pleading, as if she were begging for my forgiveness. But no, I couldn't forgive this. The anger within me burned like fire. I smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. It was a bitter, painful smile. Family. Family that takes away my dream. I said, each word gritting through my teeth. My mom went silent, no longer offering any explanation for her actions. The lawsuit dragged on for months, but in the end, I won. The court ordered my parents to repay the full $200,000 they had taken, along with a hefty financial penalty. But the consequences didn't stop with money. The house they had once considered the symbol of the happy family, the place I had grown up, was no longer theirs. Unable to pay the fine, they were forced to sell that house, and everything they had built over the years came crashing down. When I received the court ruling, a strange feeling of satisfaction flooded me. I didn't feel joyful, but at least I had regained the justice I deserved. My parents had to pay the price for their betrayal. And I, no matter how painful it was no longer the weak girl I once was. I had become someone stronger, standing firm and ready to continue my journey without their sheltering. Despite my family's objections and constant attempts to convince me to give up, I made the decision not to stop. My decision was rewarded when I received an MBA scholarship from a prestigious university I had always dreamed of attending. This wasn't just a simple success, it was the result of months of struggle, resilience, and unwavering effort. Every time I thought of what I had been through, I knew clearly that this was the dream I truly deserved. When the scholarship announcement came, I felt a whole new world opening up in front of me. Holding the scholarship letter in my hands, a strong feeling swelled inside me. This isn't just a scholarship, it's my dream. It's everything I deserve, I told myself. This wasn't just a personal victory, it was a victory of resilience, of never giving up, even when facing so many challenges. Not only did I get the scholarship, but my career also began to take off. I was promoted in my company, something I had worked hard for all this time. I no longer had to rely on anyone, especially my family, to achieve my dreams and goals. Every step forward in my career was proof of the decisions I had made, a response to the ridicule and doubts I had endured for so long. In the end, I decided to find a place of my own, a place where I could start over, live independently, and enjoy the life I truly deserved. I chose a new apartment, not a luxurious mansion, but a place where I could freely take control of my life. It was a comfortable space, where I didn't have to face pressure or judgment from my family. It wasn't just a place to live, it was a symbol of freedom, independence, and the ability to shape my own future. The feeling of freedom and independence in my new apartment was something I never imagined. I didn't have to prove anything to anyone anymore, didn't have to please anyone except myself. I knew I had found my own path, and I would continue walking it, without interference from anyone, least of all my family. Freedom and justice were not just words, they were values I had fought for and reclaimed for myself. My story isn't just about fighting for money, it's about a long journey to regain my self-worth. I proved that not everyone in the family deserves to be prioritized, and not everything in life can be measured by money. I fought to protect my rights, so my efforts and dreams would not be dismissed. What I went through made me realize that justice, resilience, and independence are the keys to overcoming any challenge in life. When I reclaimed the money my parents took, it wasn't just a financial victory. More importantly, I regained control over my future. I no longer depended on my family, no longer lived under the influence of those who betrayed me. I knew that now, I could build my life on my own terms, and no one would be able to harm me again. This new life is no longer a burden, it's an opportunity for me to truly live for myself. What do you think about this story? Do you agree that betrayal always comes with a price, and sometimes leaving a toxic relationship is the best thing? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts. If you liked this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more exciting stories to come. Thank you for following. Rock it!